So let us see what happens when a patient comes in contact first time. So a doctor, once they get the registered sort of notes which are created by the HIMS system, the patient walks in and is seen by a doctor who takes a detailed history and examines, and these patient record forms are the first one which will give the clinical data and the status of the patient on admission. So in Sassoon we created such special formats for the COVID suspected, COVID confirmed patients and the non-COVID patients, and that reduced a lot the time spent by the doctors in capturing the patient data. When you are suspecting a patient to be COVID positive, they need to be sort of entries made in such a way that they will have to be monitored awaiting the report of the COVID test. So that transition phase before they are transferred to the COVID ward or to the non-COVID, the monitoring charts of suspected cases is another data that is captured. It's a part of the clinical record form. Then the tests, if you are conducting the test to know whether the person is affected with COVID or not, and how is the critical situation with the other tests. So there are evaluation and laboratory data forms which need to be attached to the case record forms of the patient. If you are going to treat the patient and the patient is not needing a hospital admission, then there is a counseling chart which is there where the doctors will counsel the parents or the patient, and then the patient is asked to take care at home and return if required. So this documentation is very important, and there are separate counseling charts and documentation charts with leaflets given to the patient so that they can monitor themselves and return to the hospital if things don't go well. And of course the last part is that the patient is really critically ill or needs observation in the hospital and cannot be managed at home. Such patients are then admitted. So there is an admission form which is there where the data will be then written as long as the patient is admitted in the wards or the hospital. So this is what exactly happens when a patient walks into the hospital. Now what is the importance or the utility of the data that we capture at such multiple places? So if we are going to send the patient home from OPD, when he visits again, we will be able to just look at this data. You may not be the same doctor who had seen them in the previous visits, but if the data is captured very well, the new doctor can very easily manage the same patient. So subsequent visits management becomes very useful if data is maintained properly in the records. Sometimes we need to refer the patients to the other departments for their specialty opinions. So this data can be electronically transferred to them or as paper documents. So that is what interdepartmental movement of the patient could be facilitated. Also, when the data is captured from entry to the ward to the discharges, you will have a very good streamlined process where everybody knows what is to be done, what happened in the past, and what is the plan for the future of that patient when they are discharged is all streamlined. Many times it so happens that in critical places like the COVID ICUs, the working pattern is 6 hours. So after every 6 hours you will have a new doctor set or a new nursing set which comes in, and you can't keep on giving over to each and every nurse of each and every patient. But if you have documented the records properly, the incoming doctors and the nurses without wasting time can take over the patient care very efficiently. So there is a lot of manpower hours that could be saved, which are then usually utilized in handing over and taking over. So all this could be reduced. Also, the patient also knows what is happening. Nowadays patient ask for their own records, as to what treatment is going on. So you can't just say that we will not show you your data. They have a right sometimes. So even they can have a look and know how they are progressing if they feel like looking at it. With the data that is captured now electronically and with the use of laptops and computers, the paperwork has reduced and it has become almost paperless. So that is giving more man hours to look after the patients. It improves operating efficiency of a person. And also, if you have proper data that is there, you can schedule the investigations and the facilities. So even with less facilities, with a proper documentation, the same instrument could be used very efficiently for hundreds of patients, provided you have a good data set that is available with you. And whatever data that is generated over a period of time always helps in training the new teams or the new people who join the team of taking care of the patients, and especially this is very useful in cases of pandemics when you have no separate hours of training for them. It is on the work training or on job training with actual patient management. So all this data can help in organizing this type of trainings. Now in pandemic situation, what happens is there are too many patients coming into the hospital and also in large numbers at very short duration. So there is usually patient crowding. So the disease burden in the community as well as in the hospitals is quite a bit. They may come from being asymptomatic and really worried and anxious to a really gasping and a critically ill patient, and they need to be seen quickly. So when you have a very robust data management system, taking care of this increased burden becomes very useful. If the documentations are kept like in COVID phase 1, phase 2 and a proposed phase 3, if you start analyzing them, you will know what the trends have been over a period of time, and maybe these trends will help you to predict what may happen with pandemics in future, or also use the trends to sort of hasten the community awareness programs or the periods of lockdowns, etc. So such administrative decisions which are required for planning during the pandemic waves and also preparedness for the future waves is sort of derived from the data analysis and the trends. We have seen in COVID patients that since last March, there have been various forms of protocols of management. Various drugs were thought to be very useful and as a must requirement for a better outcomes. But as the time progressed, we realized that certain drugs, certain methods of treatment patients are actually in practice not really useful. So we need to change the protocols, and that has happened only because good data was kept of the patient and which was analyzed and found which treatment is really working and which is not. So that also helps. I have covered initially of something called as death audits. Now, death actually teaches you a lot. It tells you, is there something which could have been done to save the life of that patient? And that can come only when you very critically analyze what treatment was given and how it was given and whether it was the correct way it was given or not, and whether you need to modify it. So audits tell us if things have gone wrong and whether we need to rectify or modify our ways of management.